Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Roll Performance. When we last left off, the party was wandering through a desert, turning into savannah-like area. They dealt with a few pitfall traps, they dealt with some buried fears, they dealt with a new treasure and being depressed about it. There was also a zone of truth in which many of the players were asked about their true intentions and goals. And I believe we ended with the casting of that zone of truth.
No, I think we left off with the end of the Zone of Truth. He casted it 10 minutes ago.
That's what I'm saying. We left with the end of the. Or I meant to say when the duration was over, not the casting.
Nah.
My apologies. This is going to be a great start so far. All right.
Nark's just gonna kind of gives Jay kind of like a confused look. I didn't know you all were able to cast that too.
I saw who?
Bards?
Just because I play a flute does not mean I'm a bard.
Jay has only ever told you that he's a lawyer. You can make assumptions that he's a bard, but he has never said it.
Right.
Just making sure.
That's what he is. He's assuming it.
You could try to incite him. Jay, go ahead and make a deception check. I know this will be difficult for you.
17.
Nope, just missed. I have 16.
Maybe he's not a bard.
Still has this confused look as he gets on Dante's back and consults the map again.
Okay. All right. The map says you still have quite a bit to go. You're only in the first week of a few weeks of travel. But you are on path and so far on schedule.
And I just want to make sure we're heading in the right direction before we head out again.
Yep. With both the map and the compass, you don't have much trouble gaining your bearings. About 2 hours in, the paths, or the direction you have to take strays from the path. Though. You notice this. I'm not saying you're quite there yet.
As in the road goes a different direction from what the map says we need to go?
Yes.
I'll inform the others of this, see what they think.
Okay.
Okay, road goes this way, but if we want to get there quickest way, map says go this way. And points the other direction.
Then probably go the way that would be the quickest if it's safe, correct?
Hazen, if I look off in that direction, do I notice anything like... I was going to say dangerous, unnatural. It's just like, of course, if I say those words.
You don't see any warnings or anything like that on the map.
Well, map seems to think it's okay, at least. But, you know.
Road means more likely to run into people. At the same time, if you've got a map giving you directions, it's usually a good idea to follow them.
Okay, then, and he'll start everybody on, he'll just continue following the map.
All right. With following the map, it is a uneventful trip so far. Besides the stampede you saw, and now the craterous landscape you left behind with the stone, travel seems to be easy. You just see the grass blowing in the wind, ruffling the trees. You see a few animals, nothing that seems to want to challenge you or bother you at the moment.
Can I do a perception check to make sure we're not being followed?
You absolutely can.
$19.
As far as you can tell, nobody's following you.
God, hate those words.
22.
22 perception?
Yes.
As far as you can tell, nobody's following you.
I'm also watching out for holes so that, Flint doesn't break an ankle.
Okay. With a 22, Corin, you do notice something's off with the path ahead. You're not exactly sure what it is, but it doesn't look right.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah.
What's that over there? And I'll point
What's
out.
what?
He points you to the road ahead, and it looks like the road ahead.
There's something off about that. And typically, you seem to be rather perceptive.
Can I re-roll with advantage because he's pointing me in the right?
You roll again with the lower DC because you have a goal to look for.
Okay.
And I'll also be telling everybody, hold up, slow down a little bit.
19 again.
Okay. The road seems kind of off somehow, and there's sand across it, and it's a sandy area otherwise, but
So like clarification above table. So like, does it look disturbed or just weird?
the sand seems kind of out of place as it's starting to become more savanna, but you do see sand every once in a while. It's just you haven't seen it in the past hour.
I'm with the human on this one. I don't know what specifically it is, but I know we're in the woods and we left the desert.
Well, savanna, not woods.
Savannah. I know we're in the savannah and we left the desert and there's sand. I know we've seen some, but this looks more like, well, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm with him.
Does that look like
Can
a
I-
trap to you?
What, Arcris?
Can I cast detect magic?
Absolutely.
Can I roll an
Magical stuff.
investigation?
Yep.
$17.
It doesn't look like a trap at all. It doesn't look like any man-made thing or like someone's orchestrating it.
Shits and
Did I
giggles,
get anything from my detect magic? I'm sorry.
You cast detect magic. Sorry, I forgot you could do that like that. And you don't seem to find anything. Not anything remotely magical. That's
Can I
from where
just-
you are, though. You are 30. Or what's the range on detect magic?
You asked me too quickly.
30 feet, Hazen.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're just on the edge of it because he stopped you before you guys actually reached it. So from the edge of it, a little bit in, it doesn't seem magical.
Can I?
How big?
Go ahead, Angie.
Can I just walk 5 more feet and then keep the sense on?
Yep. You walk 5 more feet and you don't gain anything from it.
How big of a patch of sand is it?
About 15 foot across in most areas, a little bit bigger on some.
Shits and giggles. I'm going to walk up 15 feet,
Okay.
so I'm 15 feet away. I'm going to throw a hand axe in the middle of it.
Okay.
I mean, I
Oh.
would use a stone instead of the freaking half a gold axe, but whatever you.
It lands in the sand, the blade catches, and the handle stands up for a moment before falling over.
Is
And
it
then
sitting on top of the
hold on. And then slowly the axe starts to get covered in sand and go down into the sands.
Well, I'll
Quicksand
need
hole.
another one of those.
Well then.
Well, since we all know how much you four love playing in sand pits, accustomed to our lawyer friend here, who's actually the smart one, I suggest we not play in the sand hole.
Hazen, is there like an edge to where this is?
Oh, you can
Or is
absolutely
it
go
like-
around it.
I'm gonna tap Dante and I'm gonna lead him in the other, you can say at least very well around it.
Okay. So you go around this large pit of sand as you watch the hand axe become completely and totally swallowed. Arcris, with your detect magic even being right up on it, you don't detect anything.
As we go around it, I'm gonna look at Gario and look at us like, you have that rope. You could maybe pull that axe out if he wants it back that badly.
I can
make
make.
another one. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I tell the rope to attach to the hand axe.
Okay. The rope slowly uncoils and slithers towards the axe just as it's going under. The rope starting to submerge itself as well. This takes a little bit of time as the rope can only move about 60 feet a minute. So about 2 minutes time passes and it is slowly dragging the axe out by itself.
Good rope.
This part could be sped up by Gario if he so chooses.
You mean by me
You actually
retracting the
reeling it
rope?
in.
And,
You can
yeah,
reel
sure,
it.
why not?
So it takes a minute. It attaches to the handle of the hand axe, and then Gario pulls it in like a prized catch while fishing.
I wonder if anything else is down there.
We say Norak will give him kind of like a half smirk, is like, you're welcome to go try looking.
Don't tempt me.
Yet he was the one to tell us to not to play in the sand.
It's not the point.
Well,
It is the point.
with that
Norak
rope,
kind
can
of
you
laughs
just
at
tell
all
us
of
to
this.
attach?
What'd you say, Brad?
With the rope, can you just tell it to attach to anything that's down in there, or do you need to see it? Because if so, just throw it in the sand.
I wouldn't risk that rope. That's me above table.
Well, I mean, he's going to hold on to it.
Well, if we are
I
going to
give
do
the
that,
sand a wide berth and continue.
Okay. So,
You know you want a sand bath.
hmm?
I said, come on, Gario, you know you want a sand bath. We'll pull you out.
I'm not going to lie, I'm actually thinking about it, but I have to.
I can't believe the trouble.
Gario as a character likes this idea for some reason.
Like say Norak Lagura, it's like no sense wasting your good health. Like say we can always come back to this spot on the way back.
Die later. Ah, well. Adverse to my popular belief, though, of holes being in the middle of the ground, even though this is quicksand, so it probably wasn't man-made, I'm gonna take out my quarterstaff and poke the ground around as we move forward.
Okay. It shifts a little bit as you go around it, but you all seem to be on very solid land. So you're going to go around and continue on and come back later?
Yeah.
I was wondering what I was missing. Alright. So, you move around the large quicksand pit and continue on your path. About another hour passes, and this is where you have to diverge. And you swear you can see something off in the horizon towards where you're supposed to go. But what it is miles and miles and miles away. Not to mention the horizon is threatening to eat it up with how far.
So it's another kind of like map says this way, road goes that way.
This is the first one. Like, this is the one you were told about earlier that you prepared everyone for.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a spot where the map says we head elsewhere.
Where's elsewhere?
Shall we? As in, we don't follow this road anymore. Or did I mishear you, Hazen?
Basically, you have to go off of the path that people use in the Fiend's Halo and start going over unpaved terrain.
We're not following any actual trail anymore, is what he.
Yes. There is no more Oregon Trail. You go where the map says and hope you're doing it right.
Off-roading, baby.
Well,
Let's go.
if the map says that's where we must go, yeah, well.
All right.
How close are we to like where? What time of day are we at, Hazen? Do we know?
This is
I lost track.
starting. The sun is starting to set. The sky is a bright orange at the moment, but it is starting to grow duller and duller.
So about how long until nightfall? True, nightfall.
You've got maybe 2 or 3 hours.
I say push on away from the road. Better than camping right next to it.
Yeah, at the same time, we'd be potentially camping out in rough terrain. I don't know. It's a good one. I didn't hear half of that. I'm sorry.
We're talking to you, Brad.
Oh, I said we're less likely to have something, just wander up on us. These roads are more likely to be used by highwaymen and bandits because we've already ran into those. If we're miles off the road, one, it's just going to look like there's something out there, and then they're going to have to come to us moving through rough terrain. So
right, yeah, at the same time, the rough terrain could be a hindrance. He's talking so with Corn, he's got this really contemplative look on his face. He's like, wow, this is really a good one for once.
Well, let's think about this here. Which would we rather fight? Do you want to fight beasties, crawlies, and other dangerous folks? Or do you want to fight humans, which 90% of the time we can actually know what they're going to do, unless for some reason they're, I don't know, some random naked person running to a tavern screaming and yelling about them not being insane. And we already know how that went.
Hey, he was not naked.
Actually, I don't think my character knows how that went.
No, you left. Oh, no.
I mean, technically your driver does.
Okay, so my point is, we're trying to get there as fast as possible. We might as well just go ahead and maximize our travel time. We're heading that direction anyway, so we're going to be camping out in the rough terrain sooner or later. Why not just go ahead and do it now and make up some extra time?
Brad, to maximize your travel time means you would stay. You'd be adding travel time.
Well, what I'm saying, actual trip to try and
Right, to
get
minimize the travel time is what you
Yeah.
want to do.
Yeah.
Like say Narc Ilagora Corn, it's like I agree with you, but we've still got weeks to get there yet. As you know, taking a couple extra hours to make sure camp is set properly before we head into terrain that's going to be difficult on your horse, likely. Is it worth continuing into night where we might not see well? Well, at least
I'm going
some of us may
absolutely
not
fine.
see well.
I'm used to camping out in the rough. My thought process is we might as well get as much travel time in as possible for today. And at the same time, we may be able to find, some of this rough terrain that's actually a good spot for a camp. Easily defended, maybe up against a rock wall so that we don't have to worry about them flanking us, things like that.
And
I
say,
don't want to fight animals, so I'd rather make camp here.
I'll admit I'm torn. What do you think, Jay, Gario?
I mean, I'm always the person who already said we can either fight possible highwaymen here or we can go inside and play with the beasties. And as much as our friend dies over here, it might be better to play with the bandits than have to run into the forest.
Jay?
I'm comfortable either way.
All right, then. I vote we camp here the night, camp properly and head out through the rough in the morning where we can actually all be able to see well.
You realize we just killed 3 members of a gang of highwaymen and there's only 2 directions we could have went?
I'm going to start setting up my tent
Okay.
and then getting ready to make dinner.
Okay. And I'm guessing Arcus is in a good mood doing this, knowing that he's staying where humans usually
Oh,
are.
very much so. Like aprons on, like humming to himself, just like grooving.
I do feel the need just to make sure that it's clarified that this is a trail that is days off from the nearest town and near no settlements whatsoever. The only difference between where you're really camping is there are ruts here and animals may stay away because of that, or there are no ruts. Like, you have not seen a single other carriage, horse, person walking the road since you've started this.
Besides the bandits.
Besides the bandits, yes, of course.
And Nork said it's the point of, do you want to go tromping into more difficult terrain, as it's coming into, evening into nighttime where a few of us probably wouldn't be able to see. That's in his mind. It's like, make it so that everybody has good advantage with traveling. That's just his thought.
I mean, that would make sense more so to me if we were going into mountains where it's, rocky. It's likely to be where running up against chasms and pitfalls and stuff like that. We're walking into grassland.
And we just passed this quicksand pit.
Yes, that was in the middle of the road, not off the sides. That's his thought. Plus, like he's pointed out, we just killed a group of 3 bandits and we went one way or the other.
I mean, I didn't kill crap. I walked in to try and stop the situation and got beat on the head. But I don't know about...
You and Norik both got stabbed.
I did
No,
some
I got
cutting.
crossbowed.
No, you got stabbed. That's what knocked you down. Remember? You got stabbed, then immediately he stabbed Gario, which knocked him down. And then he turned to Corin.
So I'd say he'll look at Corin and then look over at Arcus, just like, Cook says stay, I guess. And so he'll hop down off of
He looks at Gario. Do you want first or second watch?
I'm not worried about the damn watch. I'm hungry.
Arcus, what a wonderful meal are
What's wrong with you?
Arcus, what a wonderful meal are you preparing for your companions?
It's actually going to be a nice warm bowl of like a soup or like chowder, whatever I could make with what we have, with some bread and something, water, because I'm nice. And yeah, the soup is really nice and warm.
What'd you
and
roll?
Heartfelt. You're welcome. I haven't rolled yet because I was waiting for you to say to.
You got to roll. Also, if I seem rather subdued for this stream, I am kind of beating sickness, so I'm sorry. It should be a little better next week. What were you saying, Angie?
It's charisma proficiency and
It's charisma and proficiency. What?
Oh. I nailed this one.
What?
I don't even want to say. It was a 7. I rolled a nat 1.
Okay. So, Arcus, in his happiness, has this wonderful meal planned and everything else, and unfortunately, Dante wants to come and see how the meal is going.
I want to use prestidigitation.
Okay, let me get through this. Dante decides to come and see how the meal is going, and as water and vegetables and everything are added to the pot, Dante knocks it over, including the wood that it was stacked on to be heated up. He doesn't seem to realize he's done anything wrong. He just looks up at Arcus, because he knows it's food time.
Fair. If you steal my food.
I don't like you. You need to go.
As you say that, Arcus, you get just like puppy dog face from a bear. I'm actually going to roll bear persuasion.
What do I even roll for that?
I don't know. He rolled 18, so what do I do with that? He's very pouty. He looks sad.
I said go.
The cute wants to overwhelm your sense of go away.
Yep, he wants to be cute enough that you let him stay.
I feel like she should have
You can incite the bear. I guess. Gotta be.
If you don't
So wait,
go,
who is he trying to persuade?
He's trying to
in
persuade
2
Arcus.
seconds,
Oh, you're not even going to
I'm
incite him.
going to use something else for food.
Hold on, I have to see if he gets that.
He's a panda.
I'll roll
It
an
doesn't taste good.
intimidation.
Trust me.
You can roll an intimidation or an animal handling, whichever one. That would definitely work for making Dante scram.
Dirty 20.
I really don't think he
Intimidation.
can reach that. Oh, he don't. He goes. He just turns around and waddles
Like he's
off.
trying to hide behind Norik.
Yep, this big old volcanda of red and black and sulfur-smelling fur hiding behind the halfling in his armor and glory.
I use prestidigitation to start cleaning things up. And if you're going to at least keep a pet, you could at least teach him right from wrong.
I have been trying.
I mean, he knows what's right. He's hungry and he's coming to you for food. I'm confused about the situation.
Corin is standing off to the side, face palming and mumbling to himself. It's at times like these that I miss working with professionals.
Well, good thing you were never a professional.
Professional what?
Medics?
Hey, I've only been down one more time than everybody else in the party.
No.
Except for Jay and Arcris.
Nobody's been downed twice. You've been downed 3 times.
No, I've been down
I
twice.
haven't been
You've been downed. No, you haven't been downed 3 times. That's
one.
right.
I've been downed once. I lied. No.
No, you weren't.
No. I lied.
You
I
helped-
have not.
You helped
Jane
Norik,
Arcus.
who was down.
Jay and Arcris are the only ones that haven't been downed yet.
I see. Thank you for that information.
I've been down once. More than the other 2.
Oh, don't worry. We'll fix that. So, Arcris, what is Plan B? Well, what is a 7 as a meal?
Whatever was spilled on the ground, just scoop back into the pot.
Toast and jam, leftovers from yesterday.
Jay pulls out an apple and starts eating it as he opens his door, shuts it, and locks it.
Arcris just pulls out some rations and pouts in his.
You add salt to the rations for everybody.
Hold on. Yeah, you salt the rations. You're nice enough to do that. I have to roll to see. Yep. Narek, you notice that even though he's been scolded and even though the thought of getting the fresh food is away, Norek's still pouting in Arcris's direction. Do you think the Volcana actually does feel like he did bad?
He's gonna turn around and look at Dante and kind of like even like, you know, if he's got his head down, he's gonna chuck him up so he looks him right in the eyes and like, Arcris doesn't like animals. I'm sorry. You need to start leaving him alone and be happy that he's giving you food.
Dante, hold on. Now I have to. Whoa.
I was gonna say, can I use one of my rations, which I'm assuming at least one of my or assumption of some of my rations has a bunch of jerky in it?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just throw them like a ration's worth of jerky?
You can. Just mark one ration down. You got a 12. With just like pouting towards Norik, but the food distracts him a bit, and he goes and like takes a bite of the jerky and just the dried meat.
Like say if Norix watches Gario do that for him, I'll just give him a small smile as like a thanks on behalf of Dante.
The heck do I care about your thanks for?
He says,
He never said thanks. It's just a smirks at you. It's kind of like a thanks from Dante. And then he'll plop down and see if he can rummage in his own sack for something to eat.
Does anybody know why the creepy halfling is smiling at me?
I'm eating
Hey
already.
Hazen, when I'm in my tent, can I start working on putting more of those gems into earring holders that I've previously made?
Yep. Just go ahead and make a roll for that. Norik, do you have rations? Okay, yeah, then you find rations and eat them. Everybody has a wonderful, wonderful dinner of rations thanks to Arcris and Dante.
I rolled an 18.
Okay, you managed to set the jewels with relative ease and very good precision.
I'm going to be getting ready to take first watch since Gario kind of just said, "Fuck that, I'm eating."
Okay.
And while I'm getting ready to do that, I'm just going to do some quick weapon maintenance.
Okay. You sharpen, scrape off the rust, everything else for apologies, everything else that would be required to maintain your weapons, including getting all the sand off your hand axe.
That works.
Yep. So if you're taking first watch, go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Nat 20.
Okay. You don't see anything during your watch. You just notice the road. There are some animals that wander by every once in a while, but no threats that you can see.
How big are the animals? Or how big are the animals?
The animals are of normal size. You think maybe it might be a pack of hyenas, but you're not really sure. You're not overly familiar with animals from this part of the continent.
I was hoping for any animals there by themselves, I'm like, I might catch breakfast. But no, I'm not going after a pack of hyenas.
Aw, you're trying to change that for me, so you do have the most downs.
I'm just like, no, those fuckers can kill a lion. No.
Alright. But besides that, it is a calm and peaceful night.
What a waste of a nat 20.
It's not a waste if there's nothing to see.
I know, but it's the first nat 20 I've had in like 3 sessions.
And the last you'll have for 7.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you put that evil on me. I'm the DM. My job is to put evil on you. I make a world, I fill it full of bad things, and I say, clean it. It's just, that's what D&D is. It's just Super Mario Sunshine. There you go. That's how you make a campaign.
That's really weird because I was just thinking about Super Mario Sunshine a little bit ago.
All right. Anything you want to do as you're passing off the watch, Corn?
Watch out, there's a pack of hyenas.
I know it's tempting. Go, don't fight them. All right. Gario, you are awoken. By the other elf.
Oh, yes, right. I will learn to roll.
Someday, we will teach him that D&D involves rolling. He's been playing
I'm
this
just gonna
longer than I've
get
been
you-
alive.
I'm just gonna get you a dice roller for Christmas. I'll make it easier on
Where-
everyone.
A dice tower?
Perception.
Yes, perception.
That would be a 17, Bob.
Okay. You do notice something a little odd during the middle of the night. And it's interesting. It sounds like something large stepping very softly. So you decide to survey the horizon, and you see what would probably be Arcris's favorite thing here. You see a gazelle. Except this gazelle is munching on the top of trees like it's grass.
Weird animal. I go to
So-
wake up Arcris.
So not giraffe.
No, it's a giant gazelle.
I go to wake up Arcris.
Okay. Arcris, you
Arcris!
are awoken by Gario.
What? What do you want?
Found a thing.
What thing? And I'll just happen to look.
You poke your head out of the tent.
And do I see?
You see an herbivore, which isn't really a problem, except this herbivore is so tall it has to bend its head down to bite the tops off trees.
That's big.
I thought you would like to see the thingy.
You want to know what else I'd like to do?
Kill it and cook it?
Yeah, let's go with that. Turn around.
Why would I turn around?
Don't you want to go get the gazelle?
You're the one with the magical axe. You go kill it.
I'm just pointing it out.
I mean, I can make it worse. Let me see if I can call it over here. Hey, giant gazelle.
Is that what you do? Is
Yep.
yell out to the gazelle?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's eating from the trees. It's not taller than the trees. I got the size class wrong.
Oh.
I believe.
What
Hold
size
on.
is this thing?
This
No,
thing,
no,
this
I'm right.
thing
I'm
is
right.
tall
Sorry.
as-
I was looking at giant eagle for the stats. I was wrong. It is a huge beast.
Okay, so does it run away when he yells at it? Because that would be glorious and horrible at the same time.
No, it actually looks over at you and just snorts and goes back to eating the tree.
Oh,
As
sorry for ruining your dinner.
yeah, as the animal equivalent of "How dare you? I'm having my dinner."
Gario, you leave that thing alone. And I swear, if it comes nearby, I will kill you.
But hear me out.
No, I don't want to hear you out.
We train it and we turn it into a riding animal.
No, there's not going to be any more animals added into this fucking party or I'm leaving. Gosh damn it, I can't stand you.
I mean, we have the 2 donkeys.
Yeah, and I hate them. I hate all of these animals.
You are a terrible person, grave robber.
Huh, you know, you experience some of these things and maybe it will happen to you too. I don't care. I will live with being a terrible person. And I just go back.
Okay.
Okay, have a good rest of your night then.
Fuck you.
Friendship.
I go back to my watch.
Okay. So, you continue your watch of looking over to the giant gazelle every once in a while, and as you notice it is looking over in the direction you are, you guys are camped under we lost someone. There we go. You guys are camped under 3 trees that have not been eaten from.
But I'm still the only person who knows about the giant gazelle, except for her now.
Well, morning is starting to break.
Oh. Is the giant gazelle still there?
Yep.
Can I wake everybody up?
Yep, it is morning.
If it's actually time to wake everybody up.
It's getting to be that time. It might be a little early.
Okay. I'll wait. I'm not that much of a dick, just Archer.
Okay. It's still there by the time the morning actually breaks.
Are you really just going to wake me up early for this shit again?
No, that's why I said I waited.
Oh, I thought you literally said except Arcris. I'm like, again, okay, here we go.
Nope. So I wake everybody up because it's time to get up. I wake up and, hey guys, I have this great idea. And I point up, giant riding gazelle. Arcris loved the idea.
I'm going to kill you. And it's going to be okay.
I mean, I like the idea. What about the horse rider? Hey, human.
I'm the human.
I was about to say, can we talk about like who is human? Is it Arcris is human? I know that.
I'm human. Hello.
No, she's the grave robber. That's human.
I'm not a grave robber.
Pardon me, philanthropist. Grave robber. Human.
Corin is just staring at this thing with his
He-
head cocked and is mumbling to himself, "No, I might be able to get that to subdue that thing."
Gario, you do know that Corin is a fellow elf.
Oh. Right.
He's a high
Yeah.
elf if you want to try and call that part out. Depending on where you want to put your elf to elf comparisons.
Yeah.
I'm going to start packing up my tent.
Okay.
Hurriedly.
Nork, I think, would look up at this thing. He's kind of agog. His like his mouth's hanging open. He's just kind of slowly walk up to it and just like look way up. And I'd imagine he's looking so far, he'd probably fall back on his ass.
Can we not bug the large animal, please? I swear.
Huge animal.
I
But
take
think of
care
the
of my
meat.
animal.
Okay.
Corin is looking from Flint to the giant gazelle and back and forth. Flint's more
Can I walk
unique.
over and try and
Thing
say
about
hi to it
creatures
again?
would be-
Animal handling check.
You can try it. You haven't done it yet. You've just yelled at it.
I know, but I'm saying I want to say hi this time with an animal handling check.
Sure, go ahead.
$19?
Okay. Just out of curiosity, do you say or do anything particular?
Nope. I literally look at him and I go, "Hi, Gazelle. I like you."
When you say hi, the gazelle turns. It actually bows its head in greeting and goes back to trying to nibble what leaves are left on the tree that it's by.
Nork just looks over at Gario like, how many animals can you talk to?
Wait. I apologize for interrupting your meal, but you can understand me, can't you?
The giant giant gazelle nods.
Shit. The gazelle sentient guy.
Wait, is this thing sentient? Is that what we're finding out?
Yes. Gario greeted it and it nodded its head in agreement. When he asked if the gazelle could understand him, the gazelle nodded.
I'm gonna walk up to Gario and just say, this could cut off some serious travel time if we could get a favor from it.
Dude, I don't speak fucking gazelle.
Apparently it understands common. And I'm saying this in Elvish.
It nods when you say that.
God damn it.
And having heard all of this, Nork will actually look at Corin and respond back to him in Elvish kind. Then what would you do about Flint? It's not. I don't think your horse would have an easy time riding a gazelle.
The gazelle nods.
I don't think anybody would have a very good time riding that giant gazelle. Not that I'm saying anything mean about the giant gazelle, but I'm pretty sure we should stop calling it the giant gazelle before it gets pissed off.
It doesn't seem to mind.
Nork's gonna look. Actually, having seen this thing nod at him, he's gonna look up and he's gonna continue in Elvish, just kind of cock his head. It's like, were you born a gazelle?
It nods.
Still talking to Gario. Well, there's Jay's driver. He could keep an eye on Flint. And Jay could go with us if he was willing. So that thing would eat up distance.
Jay looks at you. I'm not leaving the driver. Also, let's stop discussing whatever this creature's name is in front of this creature because it's rude.
For once, I'm with the lawyer.
I would like to look at the gazelle and Giant just ask, do you understand this as well?
It doesn't seem to give any reaction.
Well, it seems to know Elvish and Common. Well, is this thing male or female? Because I'm pretty sure we'd be able to tell pretty easily.
Well,
Now, how big of a male are we talking?
Let's not get the measuring stick out. I think the measuring stick is about 1 mile long for this thing.
Why do we care?
that
Well-
depends. Are you going to bring a female giant elk so you can know? Or giant
Gazelle.
gazelle? Yes.
I mean, I could try. I'm trying to come up
I
with
just
an
didn't want-
idea.
I didn't want to keep calling it it. I wanted to be able to say he or she.
Okay, anyway, so against my joke that I was trying to start, I'm going to look at the giant gazelle and I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask and see if I can get a favor out. Just bluntly saying it, like, "Hey, can you help us out with something?"
It looks at you. It doesn't seem overly interested.
What if I promise food?
It, again, doesn't seem overly interested.
How about shiny things?
It shakes its head.
We'll make you pretty.
It shakes its head.
Do I have to?
Already pretty.
It hears you, Jay, and nods its head.
Can I pull out the ale and hold it up. What if we offered you this?
It looks at the cask and shakes its head.
What about my fruit preserves? Does he like fruit?
It seems a little confused.
Do you like fruit? I have fruit preserves. I have these things that literally apparently lay around at this other town that nobody seems to like. And I've probably been carrying around now for, if I remember correctly, like 11 days. So I don't know if they're good anymore, but would you like to try?
It leans its head down, and it's kind of one of those, like, as it comes down in. And it...
Wow, you're a big fella.
Yep, it takes a few large sniffs at it, and it seems interested. The problem is that the jars are extremely small. So it's not like it could get its tongue in to be able to eat it.
I kind of look at it, look up, look at it, and it hits me. It's like, oh, right, true. Stick your tongue out.
Go ahead and roll me either an animal handling or a persuasion.
Arcus is over here. I hate you all so much.
You have
Chris is nowhere near you guys. He's in
I'm
his
doing
own little world and messing with his own little.
Okay.
16 on animal handling.
A what?
16?
It decides to trust you and sticks its tongue out.
I'm trying to decide how much I should throw.
How long has it
You
been
know what?
since
Screw
you
it.
washed your
I'm
hands?
throwing all 5 jars on. We're just gonna open them all up and just dump them out on its tongue.
You're going to take all that you have to bargain with and dump it on its tongue, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't know that. I'm just gonna take the 5 jars out. I'm gonna dump it on its tongue.
This is a creature that understands Sylvan, and you're possibly going to lie to it?
Yes.
It seems to like him.
Well, I can get you more. I don't have more right now, but if you help us, I know I can get, let's say, 5 times as much fairly easy.
It doesn't seem to know what that amount is, but it says that you can get more. It kind of shakes its head to the side, and it looks at you, and then it looks to the horizon wherever it is, and then it looks back to you, and then it kind of puts its hoof down.
Are you saying you want me to go get it now? Are you telling me the general direction of where the stuff is? Do you want me to?
No, it makes a motion. It starts walking towards the horizon, and it kind of points with its nose at the horizon and stops its foot.
I
Guys?
think it wants us to follow it.
You could go make an insight if you like, or an animal handling.
Like I say, all my good rolls are done. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna go insights, my better roll.
Okay.
I'm going to go animal handling, and that's a 22.
You
16.
Yep. You believe it'll only take you as far as whatever is on the horizon. Which means it will be your job to find it once you come back and pay it back.
I mean, I see no problem with this.
I'm not
And wait,
getting involved on this, and I start going in the direction we're supposed to.
Okay.
I do the same thing because I want nothing to do with this.
Okay.
I want to consult the map real quick, see if the direction it's pointing is the same, is where we need to be heading.
Okay.
Is it?
Yes.
aha, you have to follow the giant giraffe.
It's pointing us in the right direction.
I'm not leaving my driver in car.
I am not going to get on something that I fear fucking most.
Herbivores?
You're dumb.
I
Can-
don't think he's offering to give us a ride. I think he's just going to escort us. And he looks up at the
It shrugs. It seems that it doesn't mind being ridden.
100% Gario is climbing that bitch and riding.
Okay. So
Do I need to do like an acrobatics? I am riding that thing.
Nope, it lets you climb on.
Woot.
It
Can
will
I
take
sit
it
on its
as
head?
the deal being sealed. No, you have to sit shoulders are behind.
Oh.
It waits to see if anybody else is climbing on.
He'll look up and it's like, thank you, but I've got this one. And he'll pat Dante on the shoulder. It's like, I've got this one to make sure you keep an eye on.
Okay. With that, the elk starts to move. And Gario, the first thing you notice is that Corin is outpacing you on Flint, and Jay seems to be matching your speed.
I don't care. I'm riding a freaking giant gazelle.
All right.
Hi, Freya.
The second thing you notice is that your hip seems a little bit lighter.
My hip?
Your hip. Specifically speaking, a sardine can.
Oh.
Got a request from someone who's viewing that they wanted to see Freya.
Are the snakes out?
You have a bunch of a bunch of hatched eggs, I should say, in your hip pouch now.
Oh. What do you feed a snake? A baby snake?
Well, here's the problem with your hip being so much lighter. You notice that the eggshells are on your leg, but there's no baby snakes to be seen. You can make a perception check.
Oh no. Yeah. You're a bastard.
I'm not. This is the day it was supposed to happen. You're the one that climbed on a giant gazelle.
Bull. I don't remember this.
You didn't ask how many days were left. You just asked if they were alive.
22 on perception.
You see parts of the gazelle's fur moving in weird patterns.
I go to capture all the snakies and put them back in the satchel animal hen.
Go
Or
ahead.
I try and call them back. I don't care.
Yeah, you see them. Animal handling really isn't going to be a thing because there were how many eggs, if I remember correctly? 5? Okay. Yeah, this is going to be more of a acrobatics or sleight of hand to try and grab them all before they split too far, especially split off
Acrobatics.
the side. Okay. Let's see if your hands are fast enough to catch them all.
I doubt it with a 13.
With a 13, you managed to grab 2 of them. But the other 3, one of them goes off the side. And, Jay, you just notice a thud in the ground next to you. 2 more start to move within the gazelle's fur too much for its liking. The gazelle moves back, bites at its own fur, and you notice blood on the teeth as it comes back. And it kind of just and keeps moving.
Gario is actually more annoyed than anything else. I'm sad, but Gario's indifferent. So I have 2 snakes.
You have 2 baby snakes that
Wow.
are going to need fed.
What do you feed snakes? I must
Meat.
find rat. I doubt baby snakes take jerky.
I do not think a baby snake will receive any nutritional value from jerky.
Eggs.
Eggs are a possibility, yes. But does Gario know that?
Okay.
You can roll to see.
Nature / history.
It would be a nature roll.
19 on roll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
eggs, pieces of meat, things like that would be adequate to feed them. As of
Oh,
right now, they
damn.
don't know what's going on at all.
I mean, they're babies.
So they're very much squirming and thrashing in the satchel that you've thrown them in.
I kind of like look into the bag, animal handling. I am your dad.
Okay.
Now you listen to
Animal
Mama.
handling 23.
Who knew Gary was such a dad figure?
You get their attention, but with them being just born, they're not exactly fully trusting or anywhere near trusting. They think you're bigger, though, and they kind of calm down to not get your attention so you don't eat them, unaware that they're on top of a giant gazelle.
Would I have anything on me in a ration box that they could possibly? Because I can't think of anything offhand, honestly. That's why I'm.
Hold on. Let me roll to see if you're lucky. You absolutely are. In one of the rations, there is an egg. It is wrapped and it has a note that it is not a cooked egg, but it is an unwashed egg, meaning that it won't go bad as long as the protective film on the outside isn't rubbed off. However, there is only one egg.
But these are baby snakes.
Yes.
How long will they last before they need?
You can roll a nature.
Son of a bitch. 18 on roll.
You think they can last a little bit, but they were just freshly born and everything that they had as a food source inside the egg is gone. I mean, you could also, well, given your alignment, you could try and look through the fur and see if any parts of their siblings are left.
I'm completely okay with it. I'm going to look for dead baby snakes.
Okay. It takes you a moment. You managed to find one.
I feed baby snake to baby snake.
Okay. In a disturbing show, they absolutely go after it.
Are they satiated?
They seem to be. They are also trying not to move too much because they think you're going to eat them.
Copy. I am going to leave them alone. I'm going to make sure they understand that I gave them food and...
You could roll another animal handling with the feeding to see if you gain some...
8.
They're not excited.
I try.
Okay. So, with that nightmare out of the way, you all notice this elk isn't pacing itself at all. It's going its absolute normal speed, and that's about the level with the cart and with Dante.
So I was thinking gazelle or an elk. Are we back and forth a lot, or?
Sorry, it's a giant gazelle using a giant elk stat block.
Okay, got it.
Okay. I would like to look over at Arcris and just say, I've got Flint, she's got Dante, he's got his cart. You may be falling a bit behind. Why don't you suggest asking Jay for a ride?
I will
With
not
that-
get near anything that is an animal. You can shut your mouth.
With that, you hear Jay hits the side of his cart, and a chair in the back comes open.
I'll allow it. Because I just love
Is
the
that
idea.
even safe?
I love the idea of him just reaching back and slapping an indiscriminate part and knowing it'll bring the chair down.
Is it even safe? Does that even look safe?
It's got a pad.
It's
No,
safer
no,
than
it's
coming
closer
up here.
to the
You went...
animals. I'm good. I'm going
It's
to
on
keep
the. It is on the
walking.
back of the cart. and the cart's one of the slower things. Unfortunately, unless you close your eyes and keep walking, you're not going to be able to not see a giant gazelle.
But this way,
I will live a longer life if I walk.
You're going to get left behind.
I can't hear you, Brad.
You see it's got a seatbelt.
I said if you're going to get left behind.
Maybe I want to be left behind at this point.
Yes, that's
Maybe
what
you should
it's
stop being a wimp.
The gazelle looks down to Arcturus, wondering what's wrong.
I don't do this shit. I don't do this shit. I wish everybody would just leave me alone.
Okay,
I kind
the
of like
gazelle.
tap.
Hold on. The gazelle leans down and gently takes the side of the cart in its mouth and starts lifting. And it doesn't lift high. It only lifts about 2 feet off the ground, but enough to make the donkeys listen and go where it wants. And now it starts to usher Dante and Flint away from Arcturus.
See, the gazelle's smarter than you are. Actually, the gazelle's pretty smart as it is.
The gazelle only moves them about, or makes them be 10 feet away, and it's unknowing that it is part of the problem, stays between Arcturus and everybody else.
Jake kind of pulls a lever and the seats retract.
Okay.
And then
So
he
now-
gets as far away from the damn thing that just picked him up as possible.
So now Arcturus doesn't have anybody but the giant gazelle in sight.
I'll accept it, and I'm just gonna stay quiet. And I'm just. Arcturus is a quiet little babu.
Okay.
Norik, as they're kind of walking along, he's still on Dante. He's gonna look up at the gazelle once. He's gonna say, "I've not seen your kind before. Are there others like you?"
It shakes its head.
He kind of gives a smile on that. It's like, I'm seeing a lot of unique things on this journey.
It doesn't really have any way to respond to that.
Oh, I know.
So, Corin, how are you doing on this trip?
I'm just keeping an eye on Arcus, trying to make
Oh,
sure that he
I-
doesn't fall far behind.
I did forget to mention, however, the gazelle will slow everyone down if they start to outpace Arcturus.
I would like to try and persuade Arcus just to ride on the back of the cart, facing away from all the animals.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is not going to be a roll thing. This is going to be an RP thing if you're going to try this kind of convincing. Because this is a deep-seated thing that I can't just let a roll control.
Good
Trying
luck.
to be as fair to Arcturus as possible, considering what it is.
How long is the wagon? Would you say 10, 15 feet?
It's a standard gypsy wagon, so pretty long.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I offered. He did not want it, so I rescinded the offer.
All right, listen. If we can get him to let you ride in the seats, you can literally be facing away from all the animals. You don't have to see them. You don't have to walk. You can sit there and work on jewelry. At the same time, you're going to be the furthest away from an animal that you've been this entire time. Because you're not going to be near Flint. You're not going to be near Dante. You're not going to be near the donkeys. You're not going to be near the gazelle. So, I mean, if you want to give yourself blisters on your feet and worn out trying to keep up with us, fine. But if you want to get this entire journey over so that you can get back to the inn and hide away in a room, your best bet is to be probably riding on the back of the wagon.
I don't know why you care so much whether I go and sit or if I walk or not, because obviously if you're giving me the choice, I'm still gonna walk. I don't want to be near animals.
I have been through something that I am deathly terrified, and I will kill anything in sight, and I really don't want to hurt anything today.
You're not going
Please.
to be near it. You're going to be 15 feet away from one.
So, when the words, "I don't want to be near animals" are spoken, the gazelle stops. The gazelle looks down to Arcris, kind of in an "are you sure?"
Gazelle?
Oh no.
Stop. Even I know what you're thinking.
As
and
soon
I'm
as
the
you
dumb-
say that, it gives you a glare. And it then kind of moves its body a little bit, so you are reminded that you're about 20 feet in the air.
I mean, I've jumped off of worse saying that over to.
Norik looks up at the gazelle as it stops. He's like, it's not exactly. I mean,
It takes its hoof and stomps. And this is different from when it was saying it wouldn't move earlier. This is a forceful stomp of the ground. And it looks to Norik. It looks to Gario. But then the expression softens as it looks back to Arcris again. It wants to hear what Arcris has to say.
Arcris is too terrified to speak at the moment.
Okay. So, what the gazelle does is it leans back, gently, ever so, bites Gario by the robe, takes him and sets him down on top of the cart, and starts walking away. Because it can't speak for all the other animals or anything else like that, but if Arcris doesn't want animals around, he knows one he can get rid of.
Arcris will just continue to keep walking without saying a word.
Orin is face palming again.
And as Arcris walks by Corin, he gives him a stare. Or I give him a stare.
Mm-hmm.
Careful, you're getting too
Fuck
close
off
to
with
the
your
thread.
shit. I'm not even near. I can still look at you from the side.
Oh no, he's just being a smart ass.
He continues.
After a while, you continue on your way. The gazelle went a different way, and the only thing you can see afterwards is a gift that it left for everyone in the form of whatever it ate last night.
You know what? I'm going to ride point. I'm going to move about 60 feet ahead.
Okay.
And we're going in a straight line. I'm going to be continuing in that direction. I'm just going to be keeping an eye out.
Okay.
The highest mobility.
Norik's gonna look at Gario and then kind of back toward where the gazelle just ran off. So, how are you gonna pay it back if you can't find it now?
Yes.
You're welcome, question mark over the table.
I mean, it makes my life easier. The players weren't supposed to get a giant gazelle.
No, I didn't
I'm
expect it.
continuing onward.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as he picked up the cart, I had this terrible idea of wait, put the cart on top of the giraffe, mount the cart to the giraffe, mobile home.
18 perception as I go, Hazen. And do you need me to roll survival?
Is that for you to watch or to make sure that you're going in the same straight line that everybody else is, since Norik has the map?
Well, I can do a survival to keep going in the right direction, but that was mostly I'm trying to ride point to keep an eye out for anything.
Fair enough. Just kind of pointing out that with you being 60 feet away, it's not going to be the easiest to scream directions at you. And last thing you want is to turn around and be like, "Where's my party?" Dude, where's my party?
Well, I'm keeping an eye all around him. And it's basically one of those. He wants to be up front, keeping an eye out for anything they may come across. He'll keep an eye on them in case they get in trouble.
All right. So far, you don't see any threats. All right. So is everybody continuing to move?
Yes.
All right. So you continue and wander towards whatever this thing is on the horizon. You're able to start to discern different things about it. First, it's not overly expansive, at least from this distance. It's something that has a finite amount that it goes both left and right. The second part is it seems very green.
It's a giant turtle.
Like bad green or normal green?
Like,
Or just a lot green?
or just it's just green, really. You can't overly tell. I mean, if you like, I could give you the shade of green.
If it's emerald green, I turn around and go the other direction.
Nope.
Disney has taught me much.
So it is not a forest?
It doesn't seem to be, but what it actually is isn't able to be made out yet. It's still kind of just a long blob.
Above table, is Swamp Thing gonna attack us?
Do you want him to?
Oh,
I mean, not really, but he's the protector of the green.
We'll see.
Did you call his name?
What?
Did you use the fake king's name?
No, he said Swamp Thing, which is a DC hero.
Oh, okay. I'm
Well,
sorry. I heard wrong.
hero is a strong word, but
anti-hero
I don't think he's even that.
character.
Well, duh. But
Another perception to look around, and it was a 22.
no threats that you can see. All right. So you continue to travel on. Besides the giant gazelle quickly making a deal with you and then leaving at the behest of one of the party, it is a very uneventful day. Gario, you have 2 of your 5 snakes possible, and the sun eventually does start to set.
I kind of yell over to Arcris. Hey, if I give you some money, can you make me like giblets? Like really, really, really small giblets? Or meat of some kind?
Sure, but why do you need them?
They are for road trip. They're road mix. I like raw meat.
I feel like you're lying.
I might be, but it's what I'm going to go with.
Can I insight?
You absolutely can.
I'm
Deception
making
versus
insight.
insight,
I
I'm
just
excited.
told you I'm
Advantage
not.
Since he basically just said he might be.
You're already pretty sure he's lying. This is just kind of.
I mean, I literally just said I'm lying.
What are they
I literally
for?
said I'm lying, but that's what we're gonna go.
Arcris asked you what they're
Hey.
for again.
I'm hungry, and I need them for the road.
So
and I might
can
be
cook
carrying
them
something-
And they'll be okay.
Huh? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Arcris asked if so. Arcris can cook them, and that'll be fine. They don't have to be raw or anything.
I'd rather them be raw. I like raw meat.
I don't like where this is going. I feel like I know what's happening here.
I mean, you kind of knew about this. I told you guys I took them. And that's all I'm going to let you know, if you remember. And if you remember, that's fine. And if you want them to stay away from you, you're going to help me feed them.
That's probably the best deal with an animal Arcus has gotten.
Kill them or let them starve and they'll just die anyway. If you want to blackmail me.
I'm not blackmailing you. Blackmailing you would be to tell you that I only have 2 out of the 5, and 3 of them are currently squirming around somewhere.
I just get my cooking shit out.
All right. And we will figure out what Arcus is cooking when we come back from a break. So, don't go anywhere. We shall return with more hijinks and more things that I couldn't have possibly planned, but still seem to go wrong. All right. Be back in a moment. Well, 15 moments. And welcome back. So, we ran a little longer than we meant to. We apologize. Where we left off, Arcris was just about to make food after Gario attempted to persuade him to make giblets for the baby snakes that have just hatched. But Arcris was going to cook dinner for everybody else anyway. Arcris, Dante seems to be watching, but from like under Jay's cart.
I rolled a 21 for cooking this
Okay.
time. I make enough for everybody. I make extra for Dante, and I give Gario his dumbass giblets, and I hate it. And I make myself a bowl. I first clean everything and put my cooking stuff away, and then I go to eat by myself.
Okay. I am glad you made extra because, and it really doesn't affect you, but Dante rolled a nat 20 for his panda puppy pout.
Oh, extra bappy. I can say, but I imagine.
Like as he's
Arcris
looking at
gives to Norik and Norik gives.
what?
Oh, my heart.
Like when you go over to Dante with the food, like even though you're keeping your distance, like as he's pouting, you actually see like stars reflected in his eyes and everything. Like
It's still light out. How the hell are there stars?
I just set it down and continue what I was doing.
okay.
Once Gario finally has food in front of him, I'll be like, okay, this time you have something to eat. First or second watch.
I thought we were waking up, not going to bed.
No, this is going to bed.
Oh, jeez.
Gario has no sense of time.
That's why I was saying there were stars.
No sense of time, no sense of gender. I'm doing real good as a character.
I mean, you're the least judgmental character, which is really progressive for an evil one. I don't care about your gender, I care about evil! For those of you who don't think Skeletor was one of the best villains in the world, no, he was. Thank you, Ryan's disembodied thumb. Pay no attention to the one behind the screen's edge.
I'm sorry, that was...
And you added the sad part, that's going to be the funniest thing of my session. 'Cause I can't match
For those
that.
of you who are curious, we actually have a newbie visiting Ryan behind.
Yep.
So she's just kind of
Let her
listening in
lie
on
to you.
everybody.
Ryan took a trip to
Right.
Chernobyl.
This is Ryan's attempt to get us more followers. He's just taking people into his room and locking them in and doing the stream.
I was going to say that he went to Chernobyl for a visit and came back with an extra appendage.
Anyway.
So, with the food being made, which is absolutely delicious food compared to having to eat rations that were slightly salted last night. Dante eats and licks his bowl clean and very gently takes it to Arcris. And does not seem interested in trying to find the pot or anything. He just drops the bowl in front of Arcris, kind of looks up like with a mix of thank you and still feeling bad, and then goes over to Norik and lays down behind Norik, like so he's between him and Arcris.
Holy God, what did you do to the poor thing?
Norik will pat Dante on the shoulder and tell him, yes, that was well done.
And he keeps his head down between his paws, trying to make it so Arcris can't see him.
I'll just pick up the bowl and clean it and then continue.
And
I can tell as a player you are dying in the corner.
I am okay, leave me alone.
There's very little teeth marks in the bowl. Like, this was handled very gently and gingerly.
I hate Arcus currently.
Good. Player character conflict is the most delicious thing.
I'm gonna feed the snakes
Okay.
and try animal handling again.
Okay.
22.
Okay. You feed the snakes, and this time they seem a little more comfortable around you. Like, as you're lowering down the food, they start to nibble it as you're still holding it. So you're making progress.
Score.
I'm still just staring at Gario, waiting for his response. I'm also looking down at the ground, looking for pebbles to start throwing at him if he continues to ignore.
As you look at the ground, you notice your feet are being swallowed by sand. No, I'm just kidding.
I have a solution for that.
I don't think your solution's going to work the way you think it does.
Oh, no, I'm staying here. I will pick up a pebble.
You have picked up... Okay, go ahead. Roll me a, just a dexterity check, please.
What is he trying to do to me?
He's throwing pebbles at you to make you pay attention to him. Like a
Yeah.
third grader trying to get a crush's attention.
I didn't
Do it.
What is it?
It's just a dex.
Yeah?
I rolled like a 7.
Nope. So, Gario, this man picks up this pebble, tries to toss it at you, and it just kind of goes a foot or so.
Damn, I was gonna do deflect missile.
I mean, if you're not trying to just, like, peg him with it, if you want it to, like, smart a little bit, I can let you use strength, but it's gonna hurt if you use strength to
No,
throw
I'm
the
like
pebble.
just trying to get his attention. Like, are you taking first or second watch? Answer me.
I mean, you're the high elf. Oh, tall, blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
At that, he's just going to stare at him for a second, turn around, grab his meditation roll, and just and kneel down and get ready to meditate.
Okay.
Wow, he's so endearing.
Oh no,
So-
he has
so-
some issues about the whole
Child
Hyrule
when
thing.
ignored.
We want to talk about the ones that are endearing. The evil person literally has a bag of snakes. Like, he's missing an evil laugh and a mustache to twiddle.
Like, not even kidding. He has some hang-ups about the whole high elf thing. That's why whenever it was brought up, he's just like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to bed.
So I
I
guess
can
I'm
pick-
on first watch.
Okay. What were you saying, Norik?
Go ahead. I was gonna say, imagine Nork's like got his journal open and he's kind of laying back against Dante and he's trying to like free sketch from memory this giant gazelle and a picture of Gario on his back.
Okay. If you want to try and make a good one, you can roll either charisma, we'll say, for drawing.
Stick figures.
I'll try.
I mean, if you have proficiency, it'll allow performance.
This was an 18.
You make a pretty decent picture. You could definitely tell that it's a gazelle. You could tell that it's a humanoid on top.
And underneath he's gonna scrawl one of a kind.
Okay. Gario, go ahead and roll your perception check if nobody else wants to do anything else for the night.
Was actually a roll ahead of you. 20 on roll for 26.
Okay, so not 20.
I sent you a message.
Oh, I need to double check.
Oh. Behind the scenes voodoo.
Yes, it is extremely dangerous what he is doing and extremely evil, and there should totally be worry. Except you can't see what he's doing, and you never can because he's always in his cart when it comes to nighttime.
I'd imagine, just as another quick thing, Norik, after throwing away his journal, I'd probably do his usual, like, ritual with the graveyard soil and hopping over it and quick prayer to the Numian before
Alright.
heading to bed.
Alrighty. Alright, so with the 26, Gario, you notice... How do I best put this? Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to hit the microphone.
I am ready to punch.
Are you? Are you sure? You notice something during your watch. There's a point of light in the sky that's not quite acting like the others. It's moving.
Moving how?
Moving unnaturally. It's not simply a straight line like a comet or an asteroid, but it is growing bigger.
I'm gonna talk to my friend and ask him if he has an idea.
The voice comes back. I've got no clue what the hell that's supposed to be.
You're always so useful, aren't you?
Oh, I could be useful if you really want me to.
Yes, and all I have to do is sacrifice a bunch of blood to you for you to even be.
Nope. This one's on the house, and you start to glow.
Fuck. Okay.
At which point, the point of light stops moving. And starts to grow. And it starts to grow. And it starts
What the fuck
to grow.
did you do?
Oh, you wanted to know what it is, so I'm helping you figure it out.
Huh. How big is this thing if I had to take, like, perception-wise of how big it is as it's coming toward?
So far the light seems to reach, and it doesn't seem like it's remotely near you, about 15 feet in diameter. Here's the thing. Nobody else seems to notice it, though. No light seems to be falling on anyone, and things don't seem to be getting brighter as this light comes.
And it's following me.
It's not following you. Well, not less following you, more than less approaching you. Because
Okay.
no matter how far you move, it doesn't feel like you're getting away from it.
So you have no clue what it is, but you can summon it to me.
Well, things usually go to things that are shiny. I mean, you were paying attention to it because it was shiny.
Huh. I'm gonna scatter all my gold coins on the ground and like try and make up. I'm gonna try and use a prestidigitation to make them really, really shine.
Okay. So now the glow intensifies and the light comes faster.
I wait.
What comes in front of you is a large metal boat, as you can now tell. Where there are supposed to be cannons, there are floodlights. Where there are supposed to be sails, there's these weird rumbling metallic things. And a gangplank comes down. And you see a large walking hippopotamus. This hippopotamus is dressed in very fine-looking clothing. It has a weird-looking stick in its arms. And he slings it over his shoulder and starts walking towards you.
So, do you have any idea now?
Oh, now I know.
Talk.
Oh, talk? Okay. Hello! And from the creature you hear, hail! Well, I shouldn't do that, holy shit. He waves and says, hail. Yeah, it's supposed to be a wave. I forgot that the camera can't see that high.
Gario really confused and befuddled. Hi.
He continues to walk forward in a very formal manner, and he says, why are you glowing? Why is everything around you glowing?
Long story. You were glowing, and when I started glowing, you came closer. So I wanted to know what you were. So I made myself glow even more, and then that wasn't working. So I put a bunch of gold on the ground and amplified my glow, and then you showed up.
Yes, we showed up because you were distracting the navigator.
Your navigator has problems with lights?
He thought it was an SOS, so we decided to go see if anybody needed help. We are on a very important job, though, so we do need to make it quick.
Sure. How can you help me? We're on our way to this mine place to get an item.
Are you in danger?
Not currently. I don't think so.
And it doesn't sound like you need help. At which point, I would refer next time you see a Federation vehicle, do not flash it down unless you are in need of help. Thank you, citizen. That will be all. And he turns around and starts to walk away.
Friend, can you help me out here? Give me anything on this.
So those are the GIF. They are a very rarely seen species, but they sometimes do stop around here.
That's all you got for me?
There's not really much to them, not that we know.
Okay, dragons fly, yes. Griffins fly.
Yes.
What is this thing, and what is he, or it?
I just told you, he's a GIF.
You're killing me.
What do you want from me? Do you want me to tell people that you're a fancy human when they ask you what you are? No, you're an elf.
I mean, we're better.
Yeah, but you've got that asshole complex.
I mean, that's just me, not the raid. I mean,
I've dealt with elves.
Eh.
I mean, look at the other elf with you. Is he not an asshole too? But in his own
he's a
special
high
way.
elf. Either way. Okay, so can I get anything from this guy?
You could try to attack, but they've got some really weird weapons.
Not attack. More along the lines of try and convince him. Give us stuff.
These guys are army boys, usually. They're not going to just kind of give you stuff for free. If you're in trouble, maybe.
Sir!
He's not on the ship yet. He's just walking to the ship. He turns back to you. What?
I do need some help.
With?
But I'm not in danger.
Well, we are on a tight schedule.
We travel to dangerous lands. Is there anything you have that can help us?
I've got just the thing. Come here. You'll have to come to the ship.
Do any of us hear any of this going on?
You can roll perception with disadvantage.
I want to try. Just because I know who you're basing this character off of.
The Dungeons & Dragons creator who played one? No.
Oh no, I know who this is.
Nope. Corin doesn't notice anything.
I'm going to follow him to the ship.
What'd you roll, Arcus?
I rolled a 16 both times, so...
Nope.
That was a 17.
Nope. Remember, Gario had to go and walk to greet this one already, and he parked far away.
Also, before I get on the ship, I pick up my gold coins.
Okay. So you gather your gold real quick and decide to join him on the ship. And he goes, "Men, I'm going to need some paperwork. I'm signing off some of the armament to this one who says he needs help."
I mean, armament. I don't get me wrong, my friend. I'm gladly...
Nonsense. These are easy to use. All right, so here, you're going to take this, and he puts a weird wooden and metal device in your hand. He says, "You're going to need these." He puts about 30 metal balls in your hand. And then he says, "And you're gonna need this. This is the fun stuff." And he puts this black powder that's in a clear but still cloth-feeling bag somehow in your hand. Now, what you do, you take the powder, and then you take the ball here. You're going to put it on the end. You're going to stuff it down. You'll lift the hammer here. You pour a little powder in here. You close the flashbang, and then you take the hammer. You find it. You aim it. You fire. All right, have a good time. And he kind of just pushes you off the gangway down to the ground. If you have any questions, feel free to contact your nearest Federation representative. Thank you. Goodbye. And he goes up and he pulls the gangplank up and he goes, "Come on, we're light."
Gario has a gun.
Gario doesn't know what the fuck this thing is.
Nope. And he got a very quick description.
I mean, I know it's a flintlock, but that is all I know.
You do. Gario doesn't.
Obviously. Gario is just gonna like walk back to camp holding this stuff, really confused, and he's just gonna go back on watch and just set the stuff in front of him, trying to figure out what the fuck it is.
All right. And just about now, it's time to hand over watch anyway.
I take a pebble and I kind of toss it in his general direction, trying to hit his, like trying to just do a tink.
Okay. You take a pebble, you throw it, it hits him on the leg. Corin.
Hi, Elf. It's your turn. I'm not even going to answer any questions. We're fine, I think. I'm going to go to bed now.
See, he was already still irritated about the high elf comment from before. Now he's...
Maybe he was just greeting you. "Hi, elf."
Yeah.
You can insight.
So he's just going to grunt and go on watch.
All right. Go ahead and roll me perception. You notice there is a plot of land just a bit off with the earth that has been very much disturbed in a, it almost looks like a cone or something like that was laid on it.
That's weird.
It wasn't like that when you went to meditate.
Gario didn't say anything about it. There's no way he missed whatever happened there. Not important.
Fair enough.
Not gonna lie, Gario's really disturbed right now.
So he's just going to keep taking watch.
All right. So with a with a 16, you don't really see much going on. It's a very normal watch. A couple gazelles go by. As morning starts to break, you do see a humanoid walking across the savannah about 100 feet away.
Throw a pebble at Gario because he should be near he should be past the point where he has to be done meditating to wake him up. And I just say, once he's awake, there's somebody out there. I'm going to go check. Do me a favor and start waking everybody else up in case this goes south. And I'm going to ride out so that I'm about 50 feet from this humanoid. And
Okay. First off, I do have to ask, Gario, what did you do with that new contraption by chance?
Not a clue. It's on Gario in some sense. It's not really hidden per se, but it's not really out.
Yeah.
It's more like
You do notice that the little metal curved piece on the side, since it's sticking up, keeps getting caught on your robes.
that is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I pull it back so it doesn't get caught on my robe anymore.
It goes from standing all the way up to now leaning back, and you hear a click, and something shifts underneath the device.
Is it sticking to my robe now?
It doesn't seem to be sticking at the moment.
Then it's fine.
Okay. All right, Corin, as you ride out 50 feet, you look at the creature, and it seems to be an orc.
I'll hail the orc.
From 50 feet away?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't want to get too close.
You yell to it. He kind of looks in your direction and continues on.
I'll get a bit closer and ask him if he's alright.
How close?
We'll say 35 feet.
Okay. So you get within 35 feet and look at this orc and hail him again. He just kind of looks at you. "Ugh," and continues on.
Can I do a perception on the orc?
You can?
That's a 11.
Orc, male, who knows how old, decently built. He's got across his shoulders a wooden pole that has 2 buckets hanging from each end.
I'll get 20 feet away. I don't want to get too close. I just want to make sure this guy's alright and find out what's going on. So I'll get a little closer and just ask, Sir, are you alright? You're kind of far from, well, anywhere.
I know where I am.
Are you needing any assistance?
Did I ask?
No, but I'm trying to do the courteous thing of asking.
The courteous thing would be leaving someone alone when they seem to want to be left alone.
Fair point.
It is.
Can I get that
And
going?
is this the end of the conversation?
Well, if you're not in need of anything and everything's alright, then yes.
Then good morning to you. And he continues on.
Okay, I'll go back.
Alright. So you head back from the orc, who continues on in the direction he was moving back to the group.
Same direction as we were.
Nope.
Off
He
to the
seems to
side.
be going in the direction of the watering hole that the stampede left from.
See, I didn't know there was a watering hole because I missed that session.
Right, you
Yeah.
did. That's my bad.
Buckets. Okay. Alright. Yeah, no, I just go back and say, since I now know, oh, he's heading towards water. Did you all know that there was, someone living out here, I think? Good talk.
I'm assuming we're all awake by this time.
Yes,
Can I start cooking?
you absolutely can.
Thank you.
And you notice as soon as you start taking out your cooking stuff, Dante goes under the cart again.
21.
Okay, so you make a meal just as good as last night's.
I do the same thing. Make everybody a plate. Make giblets. Make him extra. Make sure I clean everything, and then I'll eat my own.
Okay. Dante once again does the same thing as well. Seeing as this is a way that doesn't get him yelled at or scolded by anyone, he thinks this is how to do things. So he will clean his bowl, bring it to you, and then hide behind Norik.
Norg will praise him again for doing that.
Arcus, you could tell that the bear is starting to learn that, or at least be taught that it does best when it stays away from you.
Is Gario trying to hide the new thing?
Yes, or at least he has or the new thing. Oh, I thought you were talking about the snakes for a second. No, you don't know about the snakes, but you also, I think he said it was half hanging out of his robe. It's visible, at least. I believe is what you said. Okay, so it's visible with passive perception.
Given Nork's history, would he have an idea of what it might be?
Nope.
Really?
Corn is getting his stuff together and getting ready to get on the move.
Okay.
Jay's doing the same thing.
Okay.
Nork's going to consult the map, and then after he's sure they've got the correct bearing, he's going to get on Dante. And actually, if he wants to, he'll offer, if Gar thinks, he'll offer Gario if he wants to ride with him.
Gario?
Sorry, what?
Ride Panda back? No?
Why do I want to ride Panda?
With Narg.
Offering.
Nope.
Jen, you had a golden opportunity there and just completely wasted it.
Nork knows what he's asking.
Oh, instead of saying panda back.
Me no one on Panda.
Okay, and so he'll tap Dante and get started in the direction that the map was pointing.
Alright.
Papa, yip yip.
If only the panda could fly, but the point that he reached fire, I think, is plenty.
I would hope. Alright, so the day begins with everybody moving, camp being packed up. Nobody talking about the respective things they saw besides waking someone up. So, with that, you did. You continue moving forward towards this green thing that is slowly growing bigger as the travels go on.
Can I do either insight, investigation, or perception to see if I have an idea what this thing is?
You could do any of those, you just have to tell me which one you do.
Can I do a perception to try and just keep an eye out around us?
Yes.
Insight's my best one.
Okay.
That's a 12.
That blob isn't lying to you, or as far as you can tell, lying about what it is, but you can't really tell what it is either, so... Potato, potato.
19.
With the 19, you keep your head on a swivel, basically. You notice, there's something off about the scenery.
How so?
This rock that is behind you guys should be getting farther away as you keep walking.
Hey, Arcus?
What?
You know that detect magic thing you do?
You don't know I do.
Yeah, you have
that.
no idea Arcus could do that.
I thought Arcus has mentioned it before.
Nope. Arcus will mention if something's magical or not, but that doesn't mean that you know he's been casting detect magic.
Okay. You know how you know things are magical from time to time?
Yeah.
However you do that, could you do that real quick and look around us?
Okay, and I cast detect magic.
Okay. You look around and you don't sense anything magical whatsoever. besides the items that you and your compatriots have.
And I don't see any auras past our own.
Nope.
Nothing, fighter. What else?
Well, I'm going to turn around. How far away is this rock?
About 30 feet.
How big of a rock is it?
It's a pretty sizable rock.
Anyone
About-
else notice that we not got any further away from the big ass rock?
Can I roll investigation?
You can.
Can I do the same?
You can.
I don't
Can
notice.
I roll it?
Can you roll what, Gario? Okay. Go ahead, Angie.
21.
Okay. What did you roll? Just making sure.
9.
Okay. And what stat did you roll, Angie? Or what proficiency, I mean, skill.
Investigation.
Okay, I'm making sure. I forgot which one you used. Okay.
What else could I have used? Because if I can use something better, I'll totally try it.
No. But with what you got on investigation, you notice that that rock, its shadow has light in it. Like light is still passing through. Not fully, but light is passing through. You also notice something else with the shadows. There's wooden bars, like support beams in it.
Do I happen to see anything else, like maybe some working gears or
You
something?
don't, but you see 3 moving forms inside of it.
Okay, guys. I'm just gonna call the biggest bluff in a room. That's not a rock. That's 3 things inside of a rock with some planks and stuff, and we might want to be prepared.
I'm going to pull out my lance, look at it, and say, alright, either you come out, or else this comes through. And I would like to do an intimidation.
Okay.
And I still see nothing from the rock with my detect magic, right?
Actually, as you focus on it, you do detect magic. You detect a lot of magic. You
Do I
detect a
know
lot
what
of
kind?
bad magic.
Oh yeah, no, this is bad. This is bad, Mojo Jojo over
And
here.
that magic just suddenly started, but you feel like these 3 things are either preparing something or activating something with this rock.
Something's about to go off. Something's about to go off. We need to go. We need to go. We need to do something. This is bad. This is like bad magic is coming from this.
I pull my hand crossbow, and I pull the Wand of Wonders.
Okay.
I had a 21 intimidation.
I also called Diza, by the way.
Oh, I believe it.
And if he says that, I will put down the lance and get ready to charge.
Actually,
Hold on. You give your intimidation and you get no answer back.
Can I ask my friend to see if he knows what the magic is?
Imps. And they got their hands on something that's going to be bad.
Fuck.
Okay, I'm charging.
Okay.
I was getting ready to, and I didn't get a response.
Corin, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ah, shit.
And I need to look up something. And I really hope I don't accidentally do something terrible. But this is how things go.
18.
Okay, so you make it, so you're only going to take half damage. Let's see, was anybody else within 10 feet of it?
No. I'm guessing I'm up front, but I'm not.
Oh, no, sorry. Was anybody within 20 feet of it? Did anybody get 10 feet closer by chance?
No.
Okay. Alright, so it's half damage. I'm going to be nice, round down the dice, and only roll. And we'll hope it's not too terrible for you. But your lance, as soon as it touches what you discover is the paper of this rock. It suddenly starts to sparkle lightning.
Right.
You and Flint take 10 points of lightning damage as a glyph of warding goes off.
Ooh.
Wait, that shouldn't have worked unless they've been sitting there for an hour. It cannot be moved more than 10 feet from the spot where it was made.
Dude, not to argue with DM.
No, go ahead. Let him argue this.
Well, I'm sorry, knee jerk. So, each, because Flint might be dead.
Yeah, it's 10 points. Is he dead or down?
I don't know. I have to look at riding horses. Because I never really considered this.
Yeah, that's the thing about having a horse. Oh, he's fine.
He's still up.
He's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Do I manage to hit anything? Or do I need to roll?
Actually, I have to check 1 second. I have to see what these hit points are. No, well, you do see something. Let me just roll real quick because I'm just going to double the damage if they fail. Oops. 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 Well, all 3 fail. So what you see on the inside are 3 charred imps.
Like, as in they're completely dead, or?
Oh, they're dead. They're not moving. Like eyeballs have exploded, kind of dead.
I'm gonna hop down, look at Norik, and ask him if he could take a look at Flint, and I'm going to investigate these little fuckers.
Okay.
Does my friend still sense any of this really bad magic?
Oh no, it's gone.
Okay, it's me.
Yeah, I didn't notice shit, so I'll
Yeah.
ask if anybody else wants to take a look, because I'm just not sure how they managed to do that.
Okay.
I'll get off my cart, walk, and do an investigate.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
And I don't see anything from detect magic anymore. Nothing trying to stir back up.
No, once
I don't
that
see anything.
glyph of warding went off, the magic faded. That seemed to have been the magic that was in question. What did you roll, either Jay or Corin?
I rolled a total of 5.
Okay.
Six.
The DC was 5.
Oh.
You had to actively investigate it was the thing. So both of you notice on 2 of the imps, the other one, you think this thing must have just been destroyed, but there are pieces of paper. And does anybody speak Goblin?
I mean, I do comprehend languages, but I don't speak it.
I sit down and start ritual casting comprehend language.
Okay. So, is there anything anyone wants to do while Jay sits down and starts comprehending languages?
Are we in a fairly devoid of grass at the moment, or are we surrounded by grass?
It's grassland, so there's savanna grassland. So there is grass everywhere. It's not the thickest in this area, but there is grass.
Oh, there goes burning the bodies. I don't really want to give them the dignity of being buried in the ground.
All right. If nobody's going to do anything for the 10 minutes it takes, Jay, you cast comprehend languages as ritual. So what you notice when you read this script is it says, stop them now, stop them, I'll pay you in souls, move.
I think. Did Gario say that he saw that they were imps? Did he even mention that?
Gario hasn't been near it.
Gario hasn't been near it. Neither did he say or spoke or said anything. He was told they were.
Yep. Which, by the way, all your little friend says after the note is translated is, traitors. Well, not really traitors, but they shouldn't have done it.
Can I make a perception to see if I saw him listening to something?
Saw who?
Gario.
I think he's talking to me.
Gario, my brain's tired, sorry.
Gario, are you actively listening?
I wouldn't act. I don't think so. Isn't it more telepathic?
No, I'm just talking about anything over for Jay, because if so, no, there was nothing to notice. So if you weren't looking at Jay or looking over at the rock thing, there would have been no reason for Jay to think that,
No, I was pretty much just kind of paying attention to everybody's movements. No real staring.
So, do we want to? Obviously, someone wants us stopped. Should we try and hide the remains so that, it's a little harder for them to. Obviously, somebody wants us stopped. Should we see about hiding the remains to make it a little harder for them to realize that this didn't work?
What are they?
Do I recognize them?
you know what imps are. Imps are one of the commonly known demons. Or devils, or whichever one they are. I'm not checking at the moment.
Devils.
Thank you.
I'm wearing gauntlets, right?
Yeah?
I'll just pick one up by the remains of its leg and hold it up for Nork to see. And just say, imps.
Nork from the back of Dante is gonna say a little prayer to the Numian and ask him if the Numian has any idea why imps would be after them.
No answer. You do have to remember, answers from the gods are exceedingly rare, even for high-end clerics.
Oh, he knows. It's just
Yes.
it's one of those things where it's like, who better to answer a question occasionally than the gods say, so he just asks occasionally.
So, do we hide these or do we just leave them be?
Was it just a piece of paper they were in?
Basically, it was a wooden frame with paper on the outside. Or, yeah, paper as the outside / frame.
So paper
like a
mache
stage.
type
Yeah,
situation?
basically.
Stage prop.
Yep.
Is there anything of it left?
The front part that was facing towards you guys is mostly gone. So that leaves the top part in the back half.
Just throw them in there, and then we'll light it up and.
Just one problem with that. A lot of grass. Fire and drier grass does not really mix well.
Then let's leave them be and go. They've done what they came to do, I guess. And she'll
Not
kind of give
really.
him like a.
We got away. We're lucky that we didn't get these smart
Ones on
I
this
get back
ride.
on my cart and continue.
Okay. So Jay's
Nora
cart
will
starts
wait
moving.
until Nora will wait until Corn comes back and gets Flint before he starts moving.
Which, by the way, what do you do with Flint, since Flint took that damage?
I'm just kind of. He said took how much damage?
10 points. Flint does not look good.
I can do lay on hands on him.
You're not a paladin.
Excuse me. Sorry. I will eventually remember that.
Dragon Mark.
I'm actually going to do my Preserve Life Channel Divinity.
Okay.
And then I'll give him 10, and then I'll give Corin the last 5.
Okay. Corin, you receive 5 hit points back. Flint looks completely and totally fine. And you send your prayer to the Numian. All right.
And just wait until Corin gets back, and when he gets Flint's reins, he's gonna take off with Dante and say just in the same direction they were headed.
I think Nord hop on Flint and let's go.
You mean Corin?
What?
You said, I think Norik will hop on Flint.
No,
That's what I was like.
I'll hop on Flint and thank Norik.
Oh, okay. You gotta speak up, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm not used to wearing over-ear headphones.
So, everybody starts on again with the papier-mâché rock trap left behind you. Alright, what does everybody want to do while moving along?
I'm keeping my head on a swivel still.
Okay, go ahead and roll me another perception.
15.
Okay.
I think Norik might also at this point, knowing that there's imps.
Okay. What does Arcus want to do? Because you ready Diza and...
Oh, Hazen, I never specified this before.
I just asked Arcus something. Hold on.
Sorry.
I'm gonna actually ask Diza if she's hungry.
Hunger. Yes.
I'm going to give her some gold.
Okay. How much?
10 for now.
Okay. You take out the gold, the axe munches it out of your hand like a pet would, and then, Diza seems satisfied. For right now.
Is there anything that you could tell me?
Danger,
Trying to strike.
devils, pact, ancient problem.
Why?
Why, indeed.
So it's a recurring problem that we're gonna be.
All problems can be stopped.
And how would you suggest it be stopped?
Aim for the vertebrae.
You got it. And
Good.
I will just relay that this probably isn't the last time we're going to see these imps and doubles, so we should be prepared and to get ready.
Since I didn't specify it when we woke up, I am going to touch my armor and my shield and inscribe them.
Okay.
I had rolled an 18 perception just to keep an eye out around us as we travel.
All right. None of the landscape seems to be following you anymore. The trail long since gone and unable to be seen, as you are now just moving along, the cart and the different animal hooves and paws leaving prints on the ground, along with a set of boot prints, of course. Well, I guess two, technically. Gario doesn't have a mount at this moment in time.
Do I notice these boot prints and everything?
No.
The boot prints are coming from Arcris.
I know. What I'm saying is like that we're leaving a trail.
Yes, you would.
How easy would it be to obscure this? Like, is it just something brushing across it would obscure it?
The thing is, nobody's going in a straight line, so it would require quite a bit of slowing down and effort to cover up everything.
I was just thinking about hooking the tarp to the back of Flint and having it drag behind us.
Yeah, that still wouldn't be an effective enough way to do it.
Okay. Never mind then.
Okay. Alright. The rest of the day goes by with little problem or ozone-fueled explosions. And the sun is slowly starting to set once again. And then you can no longer see the sunset. Gray clouds rolling in from the way you seem to have come. Thunder booms, lightning flashes from within the clouds, and quickly rain starts to fall in a very torrential downpour.
Are there any trees nearby?
You can roll a perception check.
I wouldn't see. That was only an 8.
Okay. Anybody else want to try? I'll just let you know the rain is making it difficult to see.
13.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Arcris with the 13 doesn't see anything, unfortunately. Norik, you notice a outcropping that there is some stones that have grown, or at least seem to be next to each other, and a place to hide beneath them. The cart may not fit, but most of the animals should if the donkeys are brought right to the edge.
I'll point it out to everybody.
All right.
Yeah. It's our best bet.
Angie, Purple's opening up a concession stand in our chat.
Oh, yay. Thank you, Purple.
So what is everybody's move?
Yeah, I will ask Jay when we get closer if it's alright for me to fix the tarp to the side of his wagon to make a little more cover for the animals so that they're not right up on Arcris.
Okay. What do you think, Jay?
Rain shut down what?
I'm asking Jay if it would be okay for me to hook the tarp to the side of his wagon to make like a little lean-to area for the animals to stay in.
That's fine.
Okay. Corin, I'm going to go ahead and let you do it just simply because living in the mountains as a mercenary, I believe you would be able to make quick shelters, especially quick, simple ones.
Okay.
Like I say, Nork was actually going to ask Jay if he minded if both Norik and Dante just kind of camped under the wagon for the night. So at least to keep most of the rain off everybody.
Will Dante actually fit?
He's been fitting under it while we've been eating.
I just haven't noticed as a character. You know, he hasn't been paying attention to the. So yeah, he.
There is room for everybody to have their own bit of space underneath the rock. It's not quite Lion King Pride Rock, but it's still a sizable covering.
May I suggest, I'm just throwing it out there because I can't really do it. Corin, I will ask, does anybody see any signs of anything living in here?
Mm-hmm.
Perception.
Sure.
Investigation.
Sure.
18. Or actually, I could do a better investigation if you'd like.
Oh,
But that's up to you.
it's up to you. I'll let you roll whichever here.
11.
Okay. So 11, and then Arcris, what do you have?
Dirty 20.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing seems to be living under here.
I had a nat 20.
Yeah, nothing seems to be living under here. It seems to be safe.
One time I asked other people to do it, and then I just decided, well, I'll roll just to be safe. At 20.
So, with that, you all are safely under the outcropping, with Flint hanging out underneath the tarp as ordered to give room and also make it so Arcris doesn't have to be surrounded by animals. The rain pours as the sky and the light fades quickly, both because of the sunset and because of the choking clouds. Not that you could see anything anyway, except for the occasional flash of lightning and occasional flash of lightning striking in the distance, and the thunder that would follow it.
Corin is moving towards the front of this opening and has his sword out, and he's just immediately going on watch because he doesn't like storms. Like, he's under the rock.
Okay.
He's not out in the middle of the storm, but he's just standing, like, between everybody else and the opening and keeping a watch out.
Nora could probably take like 3 or 4 of his torches and have Dante able to light them so they could have like a small campfire or something to keep warm against if they need to.
Gario, you do know that a volcano can give off quite a bit of heat if asked to. It just requires nutrition. It's basically like hibernation, but giving the heat to everybody else.
Man, it would really be awesome if everybody else knew that.
Yeah, it would.
That's all I
Narc
got.
technically does. He just doesn't know if anybody's wanting to come up and share it.
Narc does it. Narc knows that he can be warm, but he can actually like be a heater. Like he could warm up a good chunk of under this place. It's
I'm going to set up my tent and stuff in my little corner of that I've been designated.
Okay. It is only in the campaign about, we'll say, 8 p.m. or so. So the grips of sleep are not quite going after anybody yet. But unfortunately, they're going after us in real life. So with that, and with this storm brewing, we shall call the session here. And I hope everyone enjoyed. Anybody got comments, questions, concerns before we go?
No.
Alrighty, well, if that's everything, we shall see you guys at the same time, same place next week. Alright, have a good weekend.
Until next time.